you have to like at least put that into play. So it's like you might think, oh well, Liquid may not be as strong. Well, it's like, well, they got these guys on land. You have to like factor that into the mix. So for me, I think it's going to be an excellent game. I think if anything, that's going to be like a tone setter as to where things are going to be dictated. I think Sentinels is probably going to win. If you think Fnatic is going to win, like I could get behind that because they're going to have to butt heads. They're going to have to face each other, and whoever wins that game is most likely going to carry on through all the way up into the upper finals, grand finals potentially on there. So, you know, I think that's going to be one of the most important games we see in this whole entire tournament, and I think that it's going to probably go to 3. But if I think maybe like the ShahZaM storyline against Boaster is probably more than like seeing like how TenZ just gonna dominate, because we're gonna expect something like that, and if we don't, then what's gonna happen there? Like, is Fnatic gonna be able to overpower that and overcome that? Are some of the guys on Sentinels that are very, very good players able to kind of pick up that slack? I mean, where can we go? I have faith in those guys because I've seen them play, and I've seen them guys like ShahZaM, Sick. I mean, they've done pretty well on land in their respects, you know, and I think that they're gonna be able to carry some of that experience through in this.
And I'm glad you touched on the kind of ShahZaM versus Boaster thing here, right? Because, Mitch, we know it with Boaster. He is one that is like playing against all of the guys he idolized and looked up to when he was coming up as a CS player. Now he's here competing against them. But he doesn't get nervous about it. He makes his funny tweets, you know, he gets cocky and confident with it.
Yeah, you know, I wonder if he's actually sat back and thought about it, that was his dream going way, way back. We heard that from him, but before it even seemed realistic that was possible.
Before Fnatic, right?
Well, way before Fnatic. Yeah. You're talking way back in Summon FC. You're talking a completely different roster to what we have now. Like, this was his dream. And I wonder if he sat back and thought about the fact that he's at Masters and Angel isn't. Like, he's actually surpassed him, at least in this stage, which is pretty impressive considering coming into Valorant, I didn't put any props on Boaster's name on the UK scene in general. These were not the guys that we expected to see, that the majority of players from EU going from EMEA make that. So CIS and Turkey included are British. What's going on there? That was not expected. I'll say that. Left field for sure. But I think, like, yeah, in terms of that matchup, I really like the fact that we're extending past that, because obviously on the question of TenZ being a good replacement and stuff, he's unreal. We already know that. I like the fact that we're bringing up all this about Sentinels. That's one aspect I'd actually overlooked, was the fact that they have a very tenured history within Counter-Strike playing at LAN events, whereas Fnatic don't. So yeah, that's going to be a pretty big factor. As well as that, Sentinels have the advantage of watching that match first. They get to watch Fnatic play up against Kru, and then I think it's the next day they'll be playing each other. So that's pretty phenomenal, because they're probably preparing for Fnatic right now. Then they're going to get to watch them play, and Fnatic, they've got to focus on Kru, because okay, they've got a pretty heavy advantage coming in against that LATAM team, but it's not like Kru can't beat them. And Kru are definitely going to be doing their homework up against Fnatic. As I said, I'm pretty sure these guys have already watched a lot of Fnatic VODs in developing their own game style, because when you look at the VODs of Kru playing, it really feels like they're trying their best to put on that Fnatic mask. So coming up against them, it's almost like a mini Boaster and Angel, in that Kru will be looking up to Fnatic and wanting to dethrone them.